In the quick start video, you saw how to use the form engine in minutes. Here, we'll show you how to use two more of our features together you'll need to complete most forms: field behaviors and radio buttons. You'll see here at the top, I've already started this I-9 form with the basic fields. Radio buttons are better than checkboxes for sections like this when your user only needs to choose one of them. You create them by making a multiple choice field with each one of these as options. It's also better data structure in QuickBase to have a single multiple choice field than lots of checkboxes. So like this multiple choice field, click on it and select Display as Radio Button in the properties. Ignore the pop-up warning here, and each of your drop-down choices will separate into its own radio button that you can place over your checkboxes. Now, if I render this form, I now have radio buttons instead of checkboxes. And the button your user selects will be one of the options in your QuickBase's multiple choice field. Note that if I had more options in my multiple choice field than I need on this form, I can just delete any of these choices on the form, and the remaining buttons will continue to work. However, if you accidentally delete one or change your mind later, you'll need to delete all of them and drag another multiple choice field on the form to recreate your buttons. So for a form like this, you'd probably also want to apply field behaviors. You can click on any field and bring up the behavior list. Like QuickBase's form rules, these allow you to control any field based on input in another field on the form. The trigger field can only be a checkbox, a multiple choice, or a radio button field. You'll see that the behavior options for the field you're controlling are enable, disable, require, show, or hide. And note that while you can make a field required in the form that's not required in QuickBase, you cannot make a field that's required in QuickBase unrequired on the form. Those you'll have to change back in QuickBase. Like with QuickBase's form rules, field behaviors can be applied when any conditions you create are met or when all conditions are met. The field dropdown will show all the checkbox, multiple choice, and radio button fields on the form that you can use as triggers. So, to control my user input here, I drop my fields and set this alien registration number to show when IAM is equal to number 3, a lawful permanent resident. And then add another one that tells it to also require when any IAM is equal to number 3. And then I'll set each of these next 3 numbers to only show if IAM is equal to number 4. A quick tip here, as you may have noticed, your form will have to be saved after adding fields for you to be able to add new field behaviors, and then should be saved afterward for you to be able to preview their behavior. When you're setting a field behavior to a radio button field, you'll have to make the field a radio button first and then apply behaviors to each button separately, or the behavior will be erased. A good use case for this is if I want a radio button required only for this form based on a condition, I would need to apply that same field behavior to each button individually, or you can just set it to required in QuickBase and it'll apply across all your forms. So my radio button here is set to required in QuickBase, and as you can see, it automatically requires all the buttons, whereas option 3's alien registration number is only required on the form level. The enable and disable act the same as show and hide on forms for adding new records. They show or hide the fields based on the input in the target field. In edit record mode, however, they act differently. The enable disable will make a field editable or read only, rather than showing it or hiding it on the form. Try these conditions where they're helpful to improve the control you have over user input in your forms. We modeled them after QuickBase's form rules, and we would have just pulled through the native form rules if QuickBase's API would have allowed for that. These form level controls can give you better accuracy, data integrity, and user experience in your forms. Other videos will cover other advanced form engine features as the feature set grows. Thank you.